We're here with Alan Feld from Sportsmobile. Alan, tell us about what we're standing in front of.
Well, we build specialty vehicles mainly for overlanding and camping and expedition type vehicles. And this is a Ford E350 one-ton camper van. And it's got our patented pop-top lift mechanism on the top. It's also a real customized four-wheel drive system. It's got 10 forward gears, 2 reverse gears. You can actually drive the vehicle rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. It's a turbo diesel. It's got a 46-gallon fuel tank, about an 800-mile range.
Sounds like a good platform for going wherever you need to go and staying there for a while.
Oh, it is. Yeah, we actually have people that are living in them full time, but yeah, they're great travel expedition vehicles, from weekend trips to full time in it to doing some serious exploring.
Tell us about the interior. What are some of the major features?
Well, we have 40 different floor plans, and then we actually have a design your own kit. So if you have special needs for different types of equipment or gear, we can actually modify the cabinets, modify the systems to hold your specialty gear. But this one here is one of our most popular units. It's called our RB-50, and it's basically based off our old 1960 Volkswagen floor plan. And we designed this in the 60s, and it's still the most popular one because it gives you a great living room. Because every once in a while, when you're out exploring and stuff, you're going to get into some nasty weather. And you can be inside your vehicle for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So, in all the sleeping and different arrangements and everything, this also has a great living area where if you're in there, you can separate and read books and watch videos and plan your next route and things like that. Just a lot of living space in it.
Can you take us on a little tour?
Basically, again, we got a little galley area here. This has a 2.7 cubic foot refrigerator. There's actually an electric flush toilet in the cabinet next to it that slides out for use. This one does have solar panels up on the roof with a solar controller. So everything right now is self-contained off the big battery system. We have a 2,000 watt inverter for running the microwave and any other kind of electrical, 110 volt appliances. Since this is our most popular floor plan, we've molded the countertops. All our water tanks in this vehicle are interior, gray water, black water, and fresh water for winter camping. We have a lot of clients that actually like to go out in the winter, and a lot of RVs have their water tanks, holding tanks underneath the vehicle. In freezing weather, that's not a real good thing. So all the holding tanks are inside the vehicle. And it actually has an upper bed that sleeps 2 adults, and then the lower couch folds out for sleeping for 2 also.
How long does it take you to turn something like this from just the straight Ford van that rolls off the assembly line in Detroit to this work of art?
Well, it takes 2 weeks to do just the four-wheel drive conversion because all these vans come in as two-wheel drive. So we take the whole front end off and put a Dynatrac axle, Atlas 2 gear-driven transfer case, custom ARB Old Man e-Boost suspension systems on there. And so that's 2 weeks, and then 8 to 10 weeks for the interior, depending on options. This one has diesel appliances, so a diesel S-bar furnace, hot water heater, and then it's got the solar and the inverter and the water system.
So this is actually a single fuel vehicle. Everything that you need either runs off of solar or the electrical system, or it runs off of diesel.
Diesel, that's correct. Yeah, the older systems before S-Bar came pretty popular. They were in a lot of the marine applications, but RV, they've just gotten in the last couple of years, allows us to go to single fuel.
Tell me about the Atlas transfer case. What makes that different, or what makes that better?
Well, actually, if you look in there, it's got 2 shift levers on the floor. And most four-wheel drives have 1, and you have 4 high, 4 low, neutral, and 2 high. This has 2 shift levers, and you can actually shift rear axle, front axle independently of each other. And so basically what it gives you is 10 forward gears, 2 reverse gears, and 2-wheel drive. 10 forward, 2 reverse, and 4-wheel drive. But it also allows you to put the rear in neutral, and you can drive front-wheel drive.
What's the advantage of that?
If you ever bend a break drive shaft, rear end, or anything, it will get you home front-wheel drive, but it's also a real critical four-wheel drive technique. You can actually put the rear in neutral and put the emergency brake on, which just locks the rear wheels, put it in front-wheel drive, and actually almost pull this vehicle at a 90-degree angle. And the other big thing is, if you've ever seen anybody where their back end's on a slippery slope or whatever, tires are spinning and it's pulling the vehicle, you can actually put the rear in neutral. This has ARB lockers in the front, and if your front wheels are up on hardpack, just pull the vehicle right out without sliding and spinning your rears.
Now, my understanding is, even though this thing looks absolutely gigantic, it's really only a little bit bigger in terms of exterior dimensions than a Toyota pickup. Is that
Well,
true?
yeah, it's the footprint. The footprint of the vehicle is a lot taller, so we have more living room in there. But as far as like a Chevy Suburban, this is about the same size as a Chevy Suburban footprint on the ground.
So like a Chevy Suburban that you could live out of.
Yes.
So talk to us about this vehicle over here. It looks like that there's you have a lot of stuff on the back that my understanding is these are options and
Yes, we have all different kinds of options. This is actually our emergency response vehicle and vehicle recovery. So we have a winch, 12,000 pound Warren winch in the front. We have a 9,000 with synthetic cable from Viking in the back. And then all our winch recovery gear is all back here in this box. We also have underfloor storage where I used to keep all this, but usually when you need it, you're in mud, you're in sand, you're in an ugly situation, and to have to get inside the vehicle to extract all your recovery gear, it's so nice to have it just right on the back door. So like this has all the living components in it. This one does not have our pop top on it, but it's got refrigerator, and the stoves actually housed in this cabinet right here. It's 2 portable stoves, and all the silverware and cutlery is up here and pulls out. And then this cabinet actually flips open and flips down like this, so you can do cooking out here, but you can also carry beverages, and we know how to camp.
So now tell me a little bit about Sportsmobile. There's 3 different Sportsmobiles, but they're all connected and they're all a little bit different. Is that right?
There are 3 factory locations, right? There is one in Huntington, Indiana, and that was the original one. And then there's one in Austin, Texas, and then I'm actually from the one from Fresno, California. And Fresno is where we actually do all the 4-wheel drive systems as well as the interiors.
And now my understanding with Sportsmobiles is if I really wanted these but was kind of on a budget, I could build it out to a certain level and actually continue to improve it over time. So for example, I could get like a base floor plan, and then how would that work?
Yes, since we're the manufacturer and we sell factory direct, somebody can come to us and actually do the whole interior like this and finance it as an RV, and then come back to us a year or 2 years later and we can add the 4-wheel drive. Come back a year later, we can add the pop top. Come back a year later, we can add the bumpers and accessories. So it can be done in stages, yes.
So it's really kind of, it's whatever you need it to be whenever you're ready for it.
Yes, and what we'd like to do is have people come to the factory and we actually walk them through, because there is a process to do it, depending on what you want it to look like when it grows up. So you don't want to start with something where we'd have to take it out, for example. So we actually walk people through the manufacturing process and actually educate them on, okay, if you want it to be this when it grows up, let's start at this level.
What are some of the other things that you would want people to know about Sportsmobiles or about Sportsmobile West?
Well, company is 46 years old, which is pretty impressive. Started building the original Volkswagen camper vans back in the early 60s. And that pop top is kind of our claim to fame. And the second biggest thing that we've done is designed our own 4-wheel drive system. And that is a really nice system, real high-end design components for the vehicle.
And that's something that people can kind of option out however they want.
Well, our 4-wheel drive system, there's a few options. Like this one has the new Dyna-Lock hubs from Dynatrac. We use the Warren premium hubs on the other vehicles. Jim McGeehan at Dynatrac just designed these hubs, and what I really like about them is they're a 1/4 turn versus a 3/4 turn, but if the hubs ever fail, they fail in the locked position. Everybody else's, they fail in the open position, and if you're out wheeling, you're in trouble. So there's a lot of unique products that are on the market right now, and we try to incorporate them all in our vehicles.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. This is obviously an amazing vehicle, and I think it's one of the few vehicles on the market that can really meet people wherever they are.
It's a great product, and this is a great show and a great opportunity to display the vehicles.